It's crazy to think that Grand Theft Auto 5 came out 3 years ago, and even 3 years later, it's still a huge craze. It has a thriving online community and a great single-player campaign that can be played over and over again. But even after playing it for 3 years, there are still some little things that some of us are just noticing now. I'm Andrew the New Guy, and I'm here to bring you 10 little things you probably didn't notice in Grand Theft Auto 5. And up first, at number 10, this is something that a lot of you might already know, but you can use the handbrake to turn your car in midair. I'm pretty sure this is something that I've been doing in almost all of the GTA games without actually knowing that I'm doing it. You know, like how you might have some weird thing or weird tick that you do without knowing it. Like me, I scream and curse at the TV when I'm really bad at a video game. I'm one of those guys, and I never notice that I'm actually doing it until someone actually points out that I'm doing it. And I feel like using the handbrake in GTA is kind of the same thing. For me anyway, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've been doing it for years and just haven't noticed. And up next, number 9, here's a small detail you may not have noticed, but after you crash into a tree, the leaves will actually fall off of it and float their way down to the ground. Most of you probably don't notice this because you're usually crashing into the tree and getting fucked up by it. You're either dying after the crash or going flying out of the windshield across the map, or just the wreck is that bad that you didn't have time to notice the leaves falling down to the ground. One thing I've always loved about Grand Theft Auto is how much these trees can actually destroy you. Even a small tiny tree that you think you can take down is actually stronger than it looks, and it takes you out instead. There's one thing I've learned from Grand Theft Auto is you don't fuck with trees. They're older, stronger, and probably even smarter than you. Also, this has nothing to do with the topic, but just try to crash into a viable net in Grand Theft Auto 5. Just see what happens, just for shits and giggles. Let me know. And up next, number 8, here's a pretty funny and realistic one. You can actually drink yourself to death. Well, eventually you'll black out and spawn at a hospital, so I don't really know if you're dying, but you can drink yourself to the point where the screen goes black and then you're gone and you're somewhere where you weren't before that. I mean, we can all relate to that, right? We've all had that one night that we totally regret, where we don't really remember what happened, but we were just told what happened while we were laying in a hospital bed, getting our stomachs pumped. Anyone else, or is this just me? And this could actually make for a pretty interesting game mode if a bunch of players were to get together on GTA Online and start a race and just start pounding beers and see which one dies first and spawns at the hospital, and then that person wins. It's essentially like a frat bro mode, and I think it would be kind of fun to play. Also, the whole drinking yourself to death thing, pretty sure it only works on GTA Online.
Looks like you've had more than enough.
And up next, number 7, here's a quick little GTA Online tip. When you dock your helicopter at your office, it will actually repair it, which is good when you're a few blocks away from your office and your helicopter's completely beat to shit. You just have to survive those few blocks of your helicopter like breaking down and get there and you're all fine. Also, if you use a luxury helicopter under your CEO abilities, you can choose a location like your office and you'll be transported there, which is really useful when you're across the map and you don't want to waste the time driving from point A to point B. And then number 6, another very small detail which I don't really even know how someone noticed this. Vending machines can actually run out of soda. This isn't something I've experienced in real life. If you're drinking soda to the point where you're actually running the vending machine dry, you may have yourself a bit of a problem, and I'd check your mouth real quick just to make sure you still have all of your teeth there. But just the attention to detail where a machine can actually run out of stock, it's a pretty cool thing. Good job, Rockstar. And up next, number 5, there's a car that you can only get in Grand Theft Auto Online called the Tampa, which, by the way, does appear in San Andreas, The Lost and the Damned, and The Ballad of Gay Tony. Just fun fact. Anyway, there's a hood mod for the car that adds pins to the hood that actually keep the hood on after taking damage. Not that it doesn't come off at all, but it seems to take a little bit more damage than other cars before the hood comes flying off, which is pretty cool because in real life, that's what those pins are for. They're used more for racing, and with the vibration and the wind both pulling at the hood of the car when you're hitting, a crazy miles per hour, it can sometimes pull the hood latch loose, and the pins keep the hood from flying up. And when you're going 100+ miles per hour, having your hood come flying up at the windshield can cause some serious damage to you and the car. Really, probably more of you. And up next, number 4, if you're driving and NPCs are in the middle of the crosswalk and the light turns green and you're heading for them, they'll actually start to run through the crosswalk to make it to the other side so they don't get hit by the car, which would be the biggest crock of shit if this game took place in Liberty City like Grand Theft Auto 4. Seeing that Liberty City is based on Manhattan, there no one speeds up. If anything, it seems like they walk slower. And up next, number 3, when you shoot a spray paint can in GTA 5, it explodes and paint flies everywhere. And if you do this in real life, it actually happens in real life too. It's definitely something you would do like in the woods next to your house with that one like sketchy friend that you had. And I can attest to this, it does happen, but you shouldn't try it at home. It isn't the safest thing, but it is fun. but don't try it at home. But it is really fun. But seriously, please don't like kill yourself or hurt yourself. That would be really bad. And up next, number 2, another tiny little detail that I don't really know how me or anyone else actually noticed, but when you walk through the grass, it actually moves. Like, it actually forms around the shape of your foot and kind of spreads out a little bit. Although in game, honestly, it does look a little weird. It looks like a fisheye lens almost. And if it looked like that in real life, like how it looks in GTA 5, I would probably try my hardest to never look down while I'm walking, because it would just be a little too trippy for me to see. But still, you know, small details. Gotta love them. Go Rockstar. And up next, at number 1, sweat will actually become visible after running for a certain amount of time. But only on thin clothes, really. If you're wearing a sweatshirt or sweatpants, you really won't see it. And the sweat will also evaporate and dry out once you've stopped sprinting and you've calmed down for a bit. Once again, the attention to detail in GTA 5 is just awesome. It makes the game world seem more real and more alive and not empty and lifeless like some other open world games are. This attention to detail and amazing open world probably has something to do with why we've been playing this game for 3 years straight and haven't stopped. This is the reason it still has a huge player base, and probably will continue to be played until Rockstar releases their next huge multiplayer game, which from the looks of it, might actually be Red Dead Redemption 2. And those are 10 little things you may not have noticed in Grand Theft Auto 5. Are there some things we missed? Let us know down in the comments. I want to know. And don't forget, we put out videos like this every single day, and the best way to watch them is to subscribe to the channel. And liking this video really helps us out, and we would really appreciate it. Once again, I'm Ninja the New Guy, and I'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.